So you want to defeat all the bosses with 0 deaths? Then this video is for you. We'll start off with Eikthyr, the first boss in Valheim. Since you don't have access to the pickaxe yet, you're going to have to get a little creative. One method is to place a few hundred pillars around where Eikthyr will spawn. This is going to trap him in that field of pillars, making it easy pickings for you. Another method is to place a few campfires right about where Eikthyr is going to spawn. But thanks to another YouTuber, it now begins to rain shortly after summoning him. But before it does, you can deal massive damage to him, making this fight a walk in the park. And now it's on to the Elder. To take down this massive slender man, you'll want to dig a little hole to maximum depth, and then place a workbench in it to make repairs. Now stare up out of that hole until your neck breaks and shoot that towering tree ant until he drops that shiny swamp key you want. Another trick I learned is that you can use campfires to control where the Elder will move. By doing this, you can trap him in one spot, making him easy pickings. What's that? You're having problems defeating Bonemass? Then try this crazy tactic out. Place a floor structure onto one of the swamp's indestructible trees. And take note not to build it too high up. You want to be just above his head where he can't hit you, but will remain aggroed to you. Bring with you several bows and a lot of arrows. If you're going to use fire arrows, bring 400 plus. And if you're going to use wood arrows, bring like 1,000 of them. And yeah, the fire arrows do reduce damage to Bonemass, but after a lot of testing, I can confirm that burn damage does add up. Continue shooting him in the head until he pops and drops all that precious loot. Motor, the fourth boss in Valheim. This boss can be a bit tricky, since all the gear you're going to make in the mountains is a little worthless to fight him with. For example, the silver sword does spirit damage, and Motor's not undead. Or the Frostner, that Motor's practically immune to because of the cold damage. So go ahead and dig out a little hole just deep enough for a couple of bonfires and a workbench. Place iron grates across the top and flatten the ground so that Motor will not be at any angle and he's guaranteed to be lit on fire. With your hammer in hand, repair all those structures and keep those fires lit. Might take a few moments, but as Motor likes to fly around, eventually he'll always come back to the Korean barbecue. After surviving the Death Squeedos and the Black Ooze, you can summon the undead Lich King of the Goblins. This boss has a command beam attack, a meteorite attack, and is generally a pain in my... So you're gonna want to tame yourself some companions. I brought around 40 wolves and 20 locks to the fight. He did do a lot of damage to my companions, but they laid their lives on the line so I could acquire the Wisplight. Now it's time for the Queen, the sixth and currently final boss in Valheim. To defeat the Queen with ease, there's a couple of methods. One way that I've seen a lot of YouTubers doing is to bring a bunch of bile bombs. These nasty little bombs do an insane amount of damage. If your target stays standing in the cloud of bile, this thing can do up to 150 fire damage and 80 poison damage at maximum. But you're going to need about 90 bile bombs for this method, and the only way to get the ingredients is to kill about 30 plus y'all in the mist. This could take you a very, very long time to acquire. So I'm going to go with plan B. This will still require some setup before entering. Build yourself a base just outside the entrance with max comfort level and an ability to repair your gear. This will allow you to use the Demolisher against the Queen. Lure the Queen down to the entrance and duck just inside. With the AoE damage of the Demolisher, you can hit her through the wall. You'll have to repair the Demolisher and may even need to reapply your rested buff. And this is why you build a small base right outside. And if you do have any bile bombs, that'd be a good time to throw them for a little additional damage. And thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed that, then try one of these other videos, and I'll see you in the Valheim world.